2K24 came out 10 months ago. God's honest truth, I'm not excited for the next game whatsoever. We're probably about 2 months out, unless they do the right thing and just push it back. As good as the game was, it's just boring. It's just so boring to play. Just for reference, when 2K22 came out, I put over 230 hours into the game. That's probably nothing in comparison to a lot of people that play the wrestling games. But then, when 2K23 came out, I put in over 130 hours. So you can see the gradual decline. But then 2K24, I literally only put in 60 hours of the game, and that is it. They put all their effort into my faction, putting in cool wrestlers and their attires behind a paywall to try and get a small fortune out of someone that wants to use like CM Punk or something. It's despicable, really. It reminds me of EA with the stuff they pull, and I used to think 2K wasn't that bad. I have an even worse taste in my mouth from 2K24 pulling the thing they did with the Bray Wyatt edition. It should have been a really good game. They made a massive mistake by doing a Pat McAfee pack. If you tell me that's worth it, you're stupid. Honestly, who wants to play as anyone in the pack other than Pat McAfee? I don't have any of the packs because it's a full-blown waste of money, I think, just to get that out there. Showcase was terrible, boring. For 40 years of WrestleMania, it didn't feel like I was having a whole lot of fun doing that. 2K14 did that better. Before you say that, oh, it wasn't 2K that did it, couldn't care less. How can a game 10 years older do better than a game 10 years newer? It's just disappointing because I love wrestling and I want to be able to play a fun wrestling game. It's really not difficult. I understand realism. A lot of people want to push that thing of having realism, wanting to have the most realistic stuff going on. Fair enough. But me personally, I want to have fun when I play a game. There's no arcadey aspect like some dumb stuff that you could do in Here Comes the Pain or even in older games. It doesn't even have like the movement system where you can put someone up on your shoulders and move them around and fling them out the ring. Just fun extra little aspects they removed. Like there's no hit detection when you throw someone at steps, like no proper hit detection, and all the games used to do that better. I know there's some little picky bits, but how can an older game have better physics and stuff like that? Universe has never been touched. I can't even play that mode anymore because it's just been the same for years, essentially. They've added a few cutscenes here and there, fair enough. But it's trash, man. It's just boring. It's the same game every year, with a few changes when wrestlers retire or you get new wrestlers in. DLC packs end up being the same as years prior because licenses run out, so then they get you to pay for the wrestlers again when the licenses are renewed, and they need to take the emphasis off of my faction because as fun as the mode can be, this year for me, it was trash. I enjoyed it in 2K23. This time round, the only game mode I ever felt myself playing on my faction was a ladder match. And it's fun when you want to play a ladder match, but when I'm being forced into it over and over because you can't think of another mode to put in there other than here, there, different things, but mainly ladder matches, I felt like I was playing. Boring, man. It's just boring. The only fun I ever have when I'm playing a wrestling game, nowadays especially, is playing a mode where you turn it into an elimination mode just to try and spice it up a little bit and have a little bit more randomness and fun, I guess, but there's still no randomness. For me, anyway, difficulty's a problem in the wrestling games because even on the hardest difficulty with like messing around with sliders, it's still too easy when you know how to play the games, so that challenge aspect is gone. Showcase is trash. It needs fixing and it needs to be fun. The only other mode that I play other than like pin eliminations is Royal Rumble eliminations. The Gauntlet mode was cool for 5 hours maybe, but then I was bored of that too. There's just no arcadey fun aspect, and I know people might not want that, but I do. And for my personal want of playing the game, I want what I want to have fun, and it's boring, man. Just compare 2K24 to 2K22 hours wise for myself. I put 60 hours in the new one and I put over 200 hours in 22, and honestly they should have just took another 2-year break instead of releasing 2K23 and 2K24 because they're just doing minor tweaks to make things better, but then it just lacks in every other way. And I don't know how you can mess this up. Stop leaning towards the cash grab aspect. I understand that games are for making money or whatnot, but if you want to keep players and perhaps bring in new players, stop with the cash grab. Make the game worth the value. And I'm not saying 2K24 isn't worth the value, because there's a lot of wrestlers. There's a lot of game modes. But then when you're going to put like the cool old attires or old style of the wrestler, people that like wrestling that want that stuff are then forced to pay to attempt to get that stuff. And that's a joke. It was a cool concept of having these extra things from my faction, but just release them. Do the thing back in the day of having a little WWE store. This is still in the game, but they never use it. They put some wrestlers in there as unlockables, and then that's it. As soon as you unlock them, it's over. Release them into the store to make the point system, whatever you want to call it, feel like it's worth something, instead of making you spend money on the game. I will never, ever, 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 ever spend money on the wrestling games other than the base purchase. I will never spend money on my faction, whatever it is, and I'll never buy DLCs. It's just not worth it. Always with the DLCs, it's going to be in the next game. And yeah, you may not want to wait for the next game, but it's going to be in the next game. So you're being scammed out of your cash until then. So, you know. So the state of the game 10 months later, honestly, don't even bring out 2K25, man. Just take a long, hard reflection and think about what makes a game fun, because this ain't really it. And I can't be the only one that's bored of this. It's just, I like to have fun when I'm playing wrestling games. I want to be able to do stuff that wouldn't happen on TV, or like just run. Like, you used to be able to jump off the fist on Here Comes the Pain. You used to be able to hang from a helicopter. Random shit. You could go to the subway. You could go around the arena in the backstage properly, like free roam kind of feel. Just have a bit of fun with it, you know? Like, somehow being nominated for a top sports game is crazy, because who the hell is nominating that other than themselves? There are probably points that I haven't said. I've not said a whole lot. I just always rant when I talk about these games, man, because they're just not fun anymore. They're really not. And it disappoints the hell out of me. I love watching wrestling. Really can't stand playing it anymore because it's just not fun. Yeah. I just wanted to talk about it a little bit. So yeah.